the owner of this great factory. As you can see, I have many children working for me, day and night. I like kids. They're easier to manage. I don't have to pay them as much, and they're less likely to riot or form unions. Kids are small and can get into tight areas in factory machinery. Because the machines don't need the strength of an adult, we mostly employ kids. I think the kids are scared of us. Because of their fear, they work harder. In 1810, 2 million children were working 50 to 70 hours a week. I think those numbers should have been much larger. We like to keep the children we have in line, but we are fairly generous to them. They only work between 12 to 14 hours per day, which gives them 10 hours to dilly-dally. What more do they need?
Hello, how are you? My name is Furman Owens. It's 1909 and I'm 12. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I can't read and I don't know the ABCs. I want to learn, but I can't when I'm working all the time. I live in South Carolina and I've been in the mills for 4 straight years. With the rise of industrial America, lots of kids were forced to work because all them immigrants were moving into the cities for jobs. Kids nowadays have all kinds of jobs. One of my friends works in a nearby mine. Another one is a newsboy. Then you have the factory workers, the agricultural kids, the trappers, and the messengers and peddlers. Other kids work in the home industries, canneries, and textiles. My mama and papa don't understand that I want to learn. They make me work instead.
Oh, my dear child works all day in the textiles. I couldn't get by without him. He brings money to our needy family of 7. But he can't go to school. You see, I can't afford to send him there, 'cause there's not enough free education these days. I can't have him learning when he could be working. Like most kids aged 7 to 12, he brings in $16 for us each year.
My name is Maddie, and I'm 8 years old. I've been working in a factory for as long as I can recall, and it ain't fair. They don't treat us right.
And I go by Minnie. She's my little sis and I'm 9. I work 10 to 18 hours every day, earning $1 every 6 days.
And that money goes to our folks. The factories are always too hot or too cold, and we ain't allowed to wear shoes. We get all dirty. It's nasty.
Some days, Maddie and me have to work from 3:30 in the morning until 5 at night. We get barely any breaks and close to no sleep, making us sick, weak, and tired.
The other day, I heard my mama talking about some toxic air in them factories. She said it led to diseases and something about some weakened immune system.
I'm Arthur Albacker, 13 years old. A few days ago, on January 7th, 1911, I had both of my legs badly burned in a working accident. I fell into a coal chute while working in the George S. Lee mines. I'm going back to work in 2 days. Sadly, my older friend Dennis McKee wasn't as lucky. He fell in with me and lost his life down in that horrible coal chute. I miss my pal, but I'm not the only one who's lost somebody. Every year, over 22,000 children die on work sites. Factories are pretty dangerous too. The machines catch on clothes or limbs, easily pulling a kid into them.
Mama and I agree that working in the fields these days ain't no fun. I'm working every day throughout the year. Sometimes it get real hot or real cold. They barely give us kids breaks, and we're expected to work in the rain and snow.
My son is right. I don't like him working in the fields. He uses dangerous tools that could injure him. Do you understand how scary it is for a parent like me? I worry about him day and night. He's working outside where animals could attack him at any time, and even some plants could harm him. Thing is, the employers don't even realize what they're putting the kids through. All they think is, oh, we're getting our work done, and it cost us almost nothing. Darn, those selfish farmers.
You know, I don't get why I have to go out and risk getting hypothermia. I'm a cotton picker, but there's none for me to pick in the winter. They make me work with the animals now. Why do I have to do that? At least I don't have to worry about insects this time of year, like those bees I'm allergic to.
Howdy, what you up to? I'm a farm owner down here in southern Wyoming. My land produces hay, barley, wheat, and corn. My farmland also raises sheep for wool. Some of the children who live close to my area were sent to me by their parents who need a little wherewithal for their personal expenses. You know, like grub and stuff. My girls boost their family's income by $22 a year. and the boys help their families out with an extra $58. Even so, them parents always come to me complaining about how their kids don't bring in the desirable amount of cash because their child's cost of living is high. They're always complaining about their kids pulling more weight than they can take. They may have a point, but work is work, and it's the business. Hello. Thank you for coming. We are honored to have you discuss the National Child Labor Committee with us. For our newspaper, I'll be interviewing you about your position and what you believe. My first question is, as a member of the NCLC today, June 25th, 1938, what is your main goal?
We believe children have rights. My focus is to protect those rights and stop employers from taking advantage of children. Our organization was formed in 1904, and we've been working for the cause ever since. I'm not sure if you know this, but many similar attempts to end child labor have failed miserably. This includes the Keating-Owen Act of 1916. It tried to stop shipment of products that were made by anyone under 14. The act was struck down in the Hammer v. Dagenhart ruling, and we are worried this will happen to us.
Oh yes, I heard about that. Well, in my opinion, the NCLC knows what they're doing. I also heard about the Prominent Amendment, which taxed companies that abused child labor, although I heard that was declined. Am I right?
Yes, that was unfortunately knocked down too. Luckily, several laws have been passed that oppose child labor. Many parents and children agree with us that the conditions in factories and on farms are unsafe and should be illegal. Only some people decide to take action. Others just go along with what's occurring because they believe that employing children is economically necessary.
I completely agree. Children of all ages deserve to relax and enjoy their childhood. Enough said. So what laws have already been effective in the rebellion against child labor?
There have been many laws passed, but they haven't been good enough because child labor is still an issue. One law was passed in 1837 in Massachusetts and later spread. It allowed manufacturing businesses to hire children under 15 only if they had gone to school for at least 3 months in the last year. Later on in 1837, the Working Men's Party proposed that the government should set the minimum working age to 14.
And are there any other laws that have been passed after those two?
Of course! Being reluctant to give up the crusade, 28 states passed their own laws by the year 1899. It's true that most people didn't follow those laws, but they did exist. By 1910, 17 more states had also passed related laws. The most recent advancement was in 1936, when the government stated that they will not purchase any products that were made by children that were too young to work.
Oh, I see. It seems as if the battle for rights has been moving along well, but nothing revolutionary has happened yet. When do you think your organization's attempts will take effect? It is now 1938, and where do you see your group in, say, 5 years?
Well,
Excuse me, I sincerely apologize for having interrupted this. However, I have urgent news. Congress has finally passed laws.
Really? This is amazing!
How soon will it take place? How did this happen?
This act is effective immediately. We hope, in a few years, child labor will be fully criminalized. As for now, the government has set a minimum wage, a maximum number of hours, and an employment age restriction through the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Which laws were passed? I've heard some of the proposals, so what has definitely gone through?
It is official that children working must be no younger than 14. The new minimum salary is 25 cents per hour, and the maximum hours one may work per week is 44.
Congratulations! You're both part of a triumphant organization now.
Mom, I'm home from work. Minimum wage is now $7.25.
It's 2009. It should have been raised sooner.
I don't mind. It's 70 cents more than before. But on the first 90 days of a new job, someone can get $4.25 instead.
Can you still only work 15 hours, unless you're above 16?
Yeah, that still stands.
Not enough kids in your generation are working. You all need to get jobs and earn money on your own.